let's bring this to the beginning. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Thank you. Some board members out. There's 6. Sabrina's on Zoom though. With that, we have no guests. With that, I'm going to move right into 3.01 student recognitions. Principals. Mr. Bailey, I'm looking at you first, so we'll start with you.
Let's do it up. October bucket fillers. Had quite a number of them, and it's fun the culture that creates within the building. You know, the kids really try to do it, so it's kind of an interesting thing. Leah Stang, Jim Berry, Gabe Dudley, Carissa McTaggart, Liam Bamet, Creedon Matney, Zoe Link twice, Kalani Hart, Haley Limpy, Kiki Scout Kane, Arizona Soisa, Lincoln McDougall, Danielle Planky, Reed Hill, Connor Blanchard, Umbrea Pryor, Jim Berry, Brindley Beatty, Windsor Becker, Annie Kirchner, Isabella Drexler, Rainey Steffman, and Tegan Lafreniere.
Thank you. Ms. Ochoa.
Student of the week was Lexi Nayland, Adley Rita, Britton Steer, Clarence Killsnight, Ethan Reelbird, Barrett Allen, Austin Gloin, Jeremiah Sings in the Mountains, William Wolf, Bernie Barr, Johnny Bagley, Carson Brewsted, Irvin Elliott, Harrison Full, Carter Goyette, Rainey Haugen, Roger Hisbadhorse, Evan Killsnight, Hayden Marquis, Cameron Neese, Carlos Saloy, and Jacob Willoughby. I had student of the month was 6th grade Ethan Reelbird, 7th grade Adley Rita, and 8th grade Clarence Killsnight.
Thank you. Ms. Mansell.
Our October Student of the Month awards went to freshman Cody Bradley, sophomore Carly Kiroz, junior Jenna Beatty, and senior Avery Vincent. And our Rosebud County Public Health Be a Buddy Not a Bully winner for October was Wally Eichelhart.
Very good. Thank you. All right, moving right along. 4.01. This is the point in the meeting for comments on matters not already on the agenda. Comments on agenda items will be accepted when the item comes up during the meeting. Interested persons may also submit views in written form to the clerk or superintendent prior to the meeting, and those comments will be brought to the attention of the board during the meeting. Do we have any correspondence or public participation? All right. That, moving right on to presentations. Ms. Olmstead. And Mrs. Godfreyson. Don't rush to the podium.
Loading. I feel like I'm telling me something. You're on the board.
So you're connected.
Am I? Okay. We'll look at that. Yes, please.
You need to click her name up there.
No, it's doing something.
Okay. Gotcha.
Let me click for a second. I can't click on that. So if the computer cooperates with this, we'll show you some pictures.
It's hardwired.
Sure. So it's gonna be meetings.
Or we can hire or hardwire it too if you're easy. There's a HDMI cord is.
Other than it's short.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a second. Well, this is doing something. It's doing something.
Oh,
Is it doing what we want?
Yes.
I don't know. Let's go. Thank you. See, Angie has to push buttons for me.
Good job.
So we just wanted to come here tonight and share some stuff that we've learned at the STEM conference that we've gone to for 2 years. And it's really kind of show you what we've learned, what we've brought back. The first year, just Angie and I went and Laura Link. And then this year we took Lorene Hansen
and Jennifer Burchett with us. So I'll start off a little bit. Mostly it's thank you for helping us get there. These are just some pictures from 2023. Angie can tell you about the robot thing in the corner in a sec, but these are some of the stuff that we got to learn from student-driven learning, embracing what we struggle with, which is a difficult thing for us to do. But Angie can tell you about that fun little sphere in the corner.
That is the Lego Sphero robot. It can be controlled by a phone, a Kindle, any kind of device. When we used that at the conference, we used it, we played games with it, and tried to bowl with it, or chariot races. That's what the red cups were for, and we raced in the hallways. But they also, one of the big things they said that it's used for is to practice spelling words, because you can spell it on the device and then the robot will spell the letters.
Some fun technology for sure. And then also in 2023, it was really focused on IEFA. So we got to talk to some people from Baker. We got Linda Ronstadt. She's amazing. We talked to her 2 years in a row now. And she's in Baker? I know. So it was really fun to see how we can, and then this one really spoke to me, the Indigenous science knowledge. It's something that I bring into my classroom. Looking at it from this point of view was really exciting. And it also got to kind of show us that what we're doing in our classroom and for IFA is really, really important, and it's seen across the state. So that one was kind of cool. Anything else on that one? Okay. Some takeaways, personal takeaways. Angie, why don't you go first on this one?
So my personal takeaway was attending this conference for the first time provided me with some invaluable information, especially as someone who has never worked much with STEAM or tech or ever thought I'd be teaching that. We had the opportunity to also tour the Native American Center on the MSU campus. And these are some pictures from that. That's the lower left one is from the garden that the Native American students run all summer long. And then the upper right is actually the seed bank. So we learned that when they're trying to grow plants in their communities, they can come get plants that are native to their area, seeds that are native to their area to grow in their communities.
And it's really a collaboration between tribes too, which we found out. It's called Buffalo Nations, not just Northern Cheyenne, not just Crow. So Buffalo Nations was really cool. And I know we've talked to Andrew specifically this summer about some of that stuff too, where we got to see some traditional uses of the plants and then also where they're building their own seed bank, and then they can reach out to any of the reservations and provide seeds for them to grow their own. Really, really neat. And that building is new. It's gorgeous. It's so cool. And then in our school, so this is last year, starting with our cross-curricular Native American project. This is one of my babies. What we did here was we took a Native American architecture math course that we saw at the STEM conference. We brought it back and we turned it into a cross-curricular Native American architecture project. And so for the entire week of Native American Week, in every class, they worked on a different aspect of it. So in math, they were doing the design, the angles and all that. In STEAM, they were building it. In my class, science, they were looking at ecological factors and everything. In history, they were doing the research. So they got to see how architecture is used all across the world through Native American practices. And that was something that we saw when we were at the STEM conference, and we were just like, oh, we can do something really cool with that. So that one became a whole lot of work for us, but it turned out really well. And that's what the top picture, or you guys see Rio, that's where he is. And then the two bottom are working on it too. And then the robotics is all Angie over here.
Well, the game down in the corner also a Native American game that we learned about. There was a company there called Native American Teaching Aids. They work specifically with elders of the tribes to create language games or different pathways. So this was a brand new game that they were just putting out that we got very competitive about, but
We both lost.
it was gathering. Yeah, Laura won.
Don't make it.
But it was all about gathering food and then learning the Native American language that went with all of those terms within reading. So, as far as the robotics goes, we learned a lot about Lego education, which I didn't know Lego did robots. Is another thing. So I actually learned about this through a PD workshop as well, where they do InShwep, but they work with NASA. It's a curriculum all created. But to talk, well, this was how could you create your own rover to go across the moon. We did how to plant, like could you garden on the moon?
It's really cool.
But they sent everything we needed for they have the lessons already laid out for you. I did 3 weeks of PD time, and this was something that after doing the PD, I asked if I could get it for my classroom. So we have integrated this, and this is a STEAM specific Lego set into the STEAM curriculum for my class.
So moving to this year, so that was all last year's was IEFA. This year it was hands-on and inquiry-based. So we got to do something totally different than what we did last year. It was all new stuff, and every one of we didn't get many pictures this year from the conference because we were busy. We were doing things the whole time. We were felting, we were drawing in little nature books and all that stuff. So we're doing the physics thing. It was a fun time. So this one was looking at something like a phenomenon-based learning. So you look at something really, really cool, and then you have to try to figure out, well, what does that mean and how does it relate to scientific concepts? So this one, we got to do a lot of stuff that we could put ourselves in our students' shoes. And so we were learning it as the student for the first time, doing exactly what we would do as a teacher in the classroom. So that one was really cool. We also learned at this, well, actually we learned about it last conference, but we learned about this Mentoring Montana Teachers program. It is designed specifically for rural teachers where you have your veteran teacher who's been teaching for a bit in a specific content, and then they are paired with a mentee who is starting somewhere in a rural area that might not have too much access to it. Both Angie and Laura participated in it last year as mentees. I'm participating this year as a mentor, so we're moving it forward. And that was another cool thing that we got to learn from that conference.
Just all of the teachers are based in Montana, so you're working with other teachers throughout the state, and then you either meet once a month or every other week. And like for me, she was helping me find different STEAM projects, either from her colleagues or going out and helping me research different projects and how I could implement them in all of my areas.
Classroom implementation for this one, we are 3 of us out of the 4 that went to this year's are doing this program called My Home, My Health. It's started by a woman at MSU, and what it is, it's disease ecology. It's place-based. So you look at how does disease spread in a community, but you look at it for, like, one of the examples is lung disease, right? And so you're looking at air quality, and you have a case sample for elk, and then you have a case sample for human, which is vaping, right? So we get to do this cross-curricularly. Where 3 of us are participating in it. We are of the 25 teachers in Montana that are participating in this program. And they sent us a huge box of lesson plans, of materials, little digital microscopes, and all this stuff that we can implement, so we can work with our health teacher, we can work together to implement it throughout the entire year. It doesn't have to just be a really short thing. And then hopefully we can just keep it going after we pilot it. And then the other one is Wonder of Science is a website. He also, Paul Anderson, who runs it, he's our keynote speaker, he's amazing. And he got us just like hooked on all these materials, which we bought, or he's a great salesman, we bought it. And we use them now. We'll show those to you in a little bit. It's just a really cool way to get kids excited about science, technology, engineering. Angie uses Spectrum UM.
Well, and if we go back a couple of slides, right here. These are pictures of my STEAM kids doing chocolate welding. We got chocolate bars, and they had to build their chocolate, their little jig to hold their chocolate. And the peanut butter one, they knew I was taking pictures to put into this. And they were super proud that their weld could hold 2 jars of peanut butter. But what that all came out of this Spectrum UM, which I didn't know existed, but it's a program out of UM, and they do a whole summer program. But this is their little cookbook, and it has things from kindergarten all the way through 12th grade. There's lessons in here that I can use to implement with the Ozobots that I already have in my classroom. But again, it's that inquiry-based and anything they can get their hands on.
Okay, and then last couple of things, we have our opportunities. We already went over the place-based disease ecology program. I was excited to put it on there twice. The other one is the Noise Master Teachingship Fellowship. This one I'm working on where, again, you get to work with rural teachers throughout the state, and you get to work with them for 5 years. So you start sharing plans, you start sharing what you're doing, and then you're locked in with this cohort for 5 years, and you get to see what you come up with, basically. We have been able to network with educators all over the state, and it's been amazing because otherwise, we wouldn't have met a couple of people from Baker or LeBray or anything like that. We wouldn't have had that opportunity, and this way we did. We got to go there, and we're like, oh, hey, we're neighbors. And it worked out really well. So that was awesome. We have gotten, from this conference, we've gotten grants from OPI. The donors choose ones. We learned those from the conference, and now there's 4 in our building that have gotten grants fully funded from them. So we've gotten a lot of materials. We have a brand new 3D printer. We have new books. We have all kinds of stuff. And then the virtual field trips, Angie's been taking advantage of those.
Yeah, they gave a whole list of different sites that you can use for virtual field trips. Also, the little seals in the corner are materials that they paint on where you do the field trip. They send them along, send you the materials so the kids have an activity to complete at the end of their field trip. That's me on Laura's.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't. Did I skip that? Okay, sorry. And then 2025, this is a push for us to go again. Please and thank you. So this conference is still really new. It's only in its 7th year. So when we were going, they were asking us for all this feedback because they moved locations. First they were in the sub, and then they moved over to the Norm building, and they want a lot of feedback. They want us to tell them what we think of it. They're bringing in amazing resources. We brought a bunch of stuff. We brought a little too much. So if you're interested in looking at some of like the Native American games that we bought, we have a couple of cool ones we brought along with us. And then when we went to the exhibit booths, they just gave us curriculum. and all these books just said, here, have these. So we came home with, just good thing we took Suburbans.
Yeah.
By the time we're done. So if you'd like to see any of those, we can show you those now. Otherwise, we're done. So thank you.
I do have a copy of the 2023 summit report that they distributed this year. If anyone is interested in looking at it, it just gives the information of what they covered throughout the year and what they're looking at. If any of you are interested in looking at that.
And then this one, some of my girls that like work really fast, they are figuring out how to play this one. This is one of our games. It's Indian Relay as the game. It's kind of like Monopoly. It's really, really fun. And it has the cutest pieces to it. What more can you love, right? And that one's just really cool. It has all native words on it. So when you have a couple of kids that get excited because they recognize it. And then the other one, this isn't a game. These are some magnet switches. And they're just to help you look at a machine and then try to take it apart and look at the relationships, or you can use it to look at sentence structure, or you can use it for math, any of those. So we bought into these hook, line, and sinker. Yeah. And I think, do you have a
Well, I was just gonna say, like, I brought some lessons that we could easily give. These ones are on physics, bone physics. We could easily give them to high school. So when we're there, we're looking at not just for us, but for anybody that's interested in any of the information that we're getting.
It's great.
It's amazing.
It is amazing.
And when they go to conferences, it's really fun because a lot of teachers go to conferences, but I'm constantly getting text messages and
Kids are kids.
So they're so excited and they implement them. They're amazing. You guys do a wonderful job.
You do. My son doesn't talk a lot. He talks about STEAM, he talks about, so you're doing something right, that's for sure. Good job.
And thank you for helping support us.
For funding us for this.
Yeah, they're really awesome. Okay, well, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna stop sharing. Still says I'm sharing. There we go. Good job. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. Very good. All right, with that, we'll move right into consent agenda.
I move the Colstrip Public Schools Board of Trustees approves the consent agenda as presented. Second.
All right, with that, I'll move to the vote. Sabrina.
Aye.
Angie.
Aye.
Aye. 7.01 board agenda and governance calendar. I think we're on track. Anything, Chris, Scott?
No, I didn't go to MCEL, parent teachers conferences, those are embedded in their reports, the principals.
Right.
And then we got some of those hires coming up.
Perfect.
And then did we open the spring extracurricular positions? That's on here too.
Yeah, I'll have to look and see if I got those.
Posted all year for the most
I
part.
think it seems like they've all been posted, but I'll check with Shaw.
He's working on them. There's a couple of things that have come up.
Right.
Okay.
If nothing else, I'd like the head coaches brought, get
Yeah.
those done.
We
And then
need
if
to
it's the assistants, we can go
Yep.
do that later.
Yeah,
So,
we've got the heads tonight.
okay, good.
Okay.
That's
For spring or for winter?
spring.
Spring, the head coaches are for spring tonight?
Some of them.
Yeah,
Okay. Gotcha. Yep, I see it, sorry.
okay.
It's
All right,
The
like-
ones- The ones, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, with that, we'll move right into new business. 8.01, employment substitutes. Mr. O.
Okay, recommending for district substitutes, Joy Hurley and Mary Strong.
I move the Colstrip Public Schools Board of Trustees approves, sorry, I just lost it, Joy Hurley and Mary Strong, district substitutes for the 24-25 school year.
Okay, motion second. Any public comment on this agenda item? Any further board? Karina?
Aye.
to classified. Ms. Nansel.
I am recommending Michelle Walker as a district paraprofessional. She just moved to our community. Is wonderful.
I move the Colstrip Public Schools Board of Trustees approves Michelle Walker for district paraprofessional for the 24-25 school year. Second.
Okay, motion second. Any public comment on this agenda item? Any further board?
Will she be primarily housed at the high school or is she?
For right now, yes.
Yeah.
Serena.
Aye.
8.03.
Okay, Mr. DeSalt's not able to come tonight, so I'll go ahead and do it. All right, FBMS, spring rehires Chris Oswald for head track coach.
We'll take them one at a
One
time.
time.
Yeah.
I move the Colstrip Public Schools Board of Trustees approves Chris Oswald, FBMS head track coach for the 24-25 school year. Second.
Okay, motion and second. Any public comment on this agenda item? Any further board? Serena?
Aye.
Angie?
Okay, Colstrip High School spring rehires Sherelle Martin, CHS track head coach.
I move the Colstrip Public Schools Board of Trustees approves Sherelle Martin, CHS head track coach for the 24-25 school year. Second.
Okay, motion second. Any public comment on this agenda item? Any further board? Sabrina?
Aye.
Aye.
Angie? Aye.
Okay, one more, CHS spring rehires Robert Whitehead, CHS golf head coach.
I move the Colstrip Public Schools Board of Trustees approves Robert Whitehead, CHS head golf coach for the 24-25 school year. Second.
Okay, motion second. Any public comment on this agenda item? Any further board? Sabrina?
Aye.
Tiff?
Aye.
Angie?
Aye.
Aye. Very good. 8.04. SLPA MOU. We've gone through that. Sabrina put together a, what do you want to call it? A guide to credits and whatnot for the position. So, and they've approved it. So now it's up to us. So.
And these were all, we've already talked about this, right? At the last meeting where they were, these figures were in line with other districts and all of that. Okay, that's what I thought. Yes. Okay, I move the Colstrip Public Schools Board of Trustees approves the speech language pathology assistant MOA with salary tiers for the 24-25 school year as presented. Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any public comment on this agenda item? Any further board? Sabrina?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. 8.05.
Okay, so policy 3141, non-resident student enrollment. We've made the adjustment so that applications will be due by the first Friday in March.
Okay, so we're gonna have them, so we're just gonna put it the first Friday. We're not gonna put a definitive date, just whatever
Unless you guys
Friday,
want to
That
approve
Friday
this
falls
every year.
on.
unless you wanna approve it every year, right?
We kind of changed that a little bit, so
Okay,
if that's okay
True.
with you.
Just, yeah.
That's fine with me.
That
Yeah.
was just kind of what we,
yeah, I
that's
forgot
what the
about
first
that.
Friday
Yeah.
was, is the 7th, and so we felt like
Yep.
If we put that, we could.
And then we're gonna
answer
have the
to
letters go out by the end of January, right? So that they're,
But we usually do it a month before, so, but we can,
We've got that, we've
whatever.
got a
we like.
schedule. Yeah, I didn't bring it with me though.
I just wanna make sure that we give them enough.
I think I read it
Absolutely.
last time, yeah.
And once this is approved too, then we can post it on the website
Right.
under enrollment,
Yes.
therefore.
Yeah. Sounds good. I move the Colstrip Public Schools Board of Trustees approves first reading of policy 3141, non-resident student enrollment, to change the application due date to be due the first Friday in March. Second?
Okay, a motion and a second. Any public opinion on this agenda item? Any for the board? Sabrina?
Aye.
Aye.
Angie?
Aye.
Did Angie second that? Who seconded
Angie.
that? Sorry, thank you.
Hopefully it'll be the same all night.
Right?
'Cause that's what I'm writing down.
We got a rhythm going.
With that, we'll move into administration reports. I didn't have anything that I needed. I had specific questions for anybody, so unless,
I did have a question just for our curriculum supervisor, just how things were going, and we haven't really got a chance to visit with you, so I just wanted to check in and see how things were going for you.
A lot of learning right now, just trying to figure things out. I mean, like for instance, ACT, the testing platform opened up for that, and I was kind of under the impression that was on my plate to do, but it sounds like people at the high school are already kind of handling things, so.
I think she'll do it too.
Yeah, well, and that's, I mean, I think that's a good thing. I mean,
Careful.
yeah.
Be real careful.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's good. I think that's a good thing because that's somebody that I can learn from, and, these things are eventually going to fall on my plate. And
Yep.
so I'm just happy to have very experienced individuals to keep learning and just gather as much information as I possibly can. So, but yeah, no, it's been awesome.
good.
That was the only thing I had.
And I want to say, I appreciate your guys' write-ups. I read them and I really
I do
like them.
too.
They're good. Thank you.
I thanked everybody that helped this morning at the admin meeting, but it took me, thank you for coming and helping us turn it.
Oh, you're welcome.
Appreciate it.
I had a question about the obsolete disposal sale. There's no date listed. The sentence just kind of stops on the CHS report.
Oh, probably because I didn't get an answer back. I was waiting for. It is, she couldn't do it for the initial date that we had chosen, so I believe it is Friday, December 6th.
And is that going to include the wood from the floor as well?
Yes.
Okay.
If I can.
So that way everything will be cleared out of there.
We're gonna sure try. Yes, there is a lot of flooring there. Yeah, she sent me back the correct letter, December 6th from 4 to 6 and December 7th from 9 to noon.
Okay.
December 6th and 7th?
Yes,
Okay.
Friday and Saturday. So bring your trailers.
Yeah. With that?
Buy one, get 10 free.
9.02.
Okay, my turn. This last month, Chris has been kind of taking me through a lot of different accreditations. We got quite a manual, and I hit graduation profile pretty hard. Just reviewing that, we had a meeting with OPI over that, a virtual meeting to discuss that. And so there was a training, I guess, this summer, but I wasn't here. So anyway, it's the graduate profile. I know you've heard about it. I kind of spelled it out here, but then I found out that Robin had already brought it to you guys last year. So I just kind of recapped it, what it means. graduate profile means a learner-centered model or models based on a shared vision of learner attributes that students should have when they graduate. It's a K-12 thing. We talked about it in admin today, so we're just kind of getting started. I know I'm going to get with Derek and kind of get some of this stuff going that we already have done. And they mentioned that too, that you're doing a lot of these things. So what they really are after is kind of a visual representation of what you, and we have a lot of examples. We pulled quite a few up today and we're looking at them. So some of it's not reinventing the wheel, but some of the parts, identify a graduate profile working group, create guiding questions. We've been doing some of that actually. I'll say that in a minute, I guess. Outreach within the community, compile main attributes identified through community outreach, working group, narrow the list down to 5 or 6 skills. And they do give you quite a few. We gave some options in the survey that we sent out just recently. So the draft version then is of the graduate profile is reviewed by the community, make that public, and then finalize the version with that representation. It's due March 2025. So since it was parent teachers conferences, we have that stakeholder input from them, and then we got it out to other people too that weren't included or that weren't at parent teachers conferences. So we got to get that all tallied up still. But today I spent most of my day at the middle school. We had an admin meeting there, and then saw a really cool Veterans Day assembly. So and some nice chili bison chili they had for lunch. So yeah, first time she'd made it, so I tried that out. Let's see, another requirement from the state per Senate Bill 213 is to have trained threat assessment teams. So I was able to sign up all 3 schools for those trainings, and so then we attended that. High school had to go up to Sydney because we're kind of splitting up the admin team, and then the rest of us went to Billings for that training. So basically what it is if there's a threat that occurs, then you have a team that assesses that and goes through. Let me see, let's skip some of this. The training is presented by MSGIA, who works with us, the insurance company. So it was very affordable through them. And they brought in secure environment consultants. And one of the 2 trainers was an SRO who was on site during the Oxford High School shooting. And the other one was, I just want to say CIA, but it wasn't.
SCA.
It was big federal. Yeah. Secret Service. Yeah, I mean, it was like, these guys really knew their stuff. So kind of one of the main considerations when you investigate is whether they kept reiterating this. They pose a threat, okay, is whether it still even poses a threat, not whether the student has just made a threat. Mm-hmm. So then that's what you're really trying to do. Do they have the ability? You look at age groups. I was trained in a different one a couple of years ago called CSTAG, and they talked about that one. So what we're doing today in admin, we discussed it, feedback and input, which was really good. It was good for us all to be there at different schools. And then we're looking at the templates that they gave us, and they said you can kind of adapt those. So we're going to be doing that, where they're going to look through them as principals and highlight those and bring back to the next admin meeting the things that we really need from those. So that would give us a really good guide. I know I use that assessment a lot, believe it or not, more at the elementary school when I was an elementary principal, because you get all kinds of comments and things. Sometimes the little kids don't maybe even understand what they're saying, so then you kind of have to figure that out, how serious it was and how serious it wasn't, and then what to do with that. So they gave us help with all those things. So we'll be working on implementing that. And then they said that they want us to have a review of that or some kind of meeting once a month, but they said it can just be part of an agenda on a committee you already have. So they said even like the stat team, we kind of talked about it at my table, that they could do that there. And I know C-State was the same way. There was always kind of a little monthly, how's it going kind of thing. And if we get any updates too from the company, or if we have questions, we can ask them and then they can help us with that. So we've had 2, I think, real solid things going on there with that profile getting underway, and then a threat assessment. And then of course we have that Title IX trainings coming up. So some other safety things still that we're still talking about. So we're kind of hitting that theme still real hard.
Very good. Any questions? Comments? Next week, we're scheduling that special meeting for Wednesday, the 20th. On, just to get some buy-in or some, not buy-in, but just to get some information from the community on the football field and whatnot. That's a big one. I would like to get that out there. I'd like a big draw we could from the community. So to get some opinions.
What time are we gonna have it?
I think we decided 7,
Yeah. So,
Wednesday the 20th. So,
weeks ago.
And where are we gonna have it?
well, I would like to hold it in the auditorium. That's the kind of draw I would like to see. I would like to have some, it's a big investment and it's a big decision, and I don't want to waste district funds on something that we're not going to do if the community's not on board with it. So I would like a big draw to have some discussion on whether we do this or not.
Okay.
So we've already gone through all the other channels. Scott has taken care of all of that. So it's just a matter of getting some public opinion on it. So I'd like, if we can post that.
Yeah, I was gonna ask when we were gonna get that posted.
I'd like to get it posted tomorrow. Just get it out there so we can start talking about it. You're at the wrestling meeting tonight. Get it out there, get those people here. I expect all of our coaches to be here. So,
That's also the same time that they've scheduled the girls' basketball parent meeting that night already on the calendar. So,
I know, I'm running out of
right
time.
now, I was
and-
just saying,
Yeah. So, but anyway,
And
do you
days
want us
we've
to
got
do a
conflicts
meal
with our
that night
dates.
Yeah.
too? Try to get people here.
Hmm?
Do you want us to do a meal that night?
No,
I don't think we need to get too crazy about it.
no.
We have a lot of potato soup left over.
Are you gonna do a flyer or something?
Maybe something.
If you, when you put something together, get it to me and I'll send it home with the kids.
Yeah.
Are we gonna have, should we put together some sort of packet to be handed out with like possible costs, what?
I think
things
we
that
have enough
need
information
to-
from a few of the conversations with SDI and McKinstry to not put us very specific, but we can hit that ballpark. And like I said, it's not about, right now it's not about well, it is about the funds, but it's more about if it's something that,
And then what about, like, are we gonna put out the things that still need to be done within the district too, like deferred maintenance things? Cause I know that's gonna come up.
what's our priorities? That's what
Yeah,
what we need to know. What's our priorities right now?
cause then if we
Because
get,
there's still some different maintenance stuff that we're gonna go through with. I'm gonna handle that stuff for Alicia at the middle school this spring, that's gonna be done.
Yep.
There's still some stuff at the high school that has to be done.
Well,
I
then
haven't seen a lot from Mr. Bailey that's like pressing, right? But I know Alicia and Robin has some stuff that still need to be done. That will
Cause
probably be taken care of inside district. Not, this will be kind of external.
well, my thought was if they if they say, well, we would get behind a levy or a bond to clear all this up, but we're not gonna get behind a $10 million one.
That's what we need to know.
Yeah, okay,
That's what we need to know.
okay.
Will you do a follow-up survey type thing then?
Yes, yes. We decided not to do the survey because we're not gonna project specifics right now, right?
Right.
We just wanna see what the temperature of the community is on this. So,
Us to do the flyer, or is somebody else going to do the flyer, or?
I think we'll hit it tomorrow.
yeah,
So you'll have all the information then? Is it coming from central office?
Yep.
like I said, I didn't wanna get too specific.
Yeah, I
Because
understand
to
that.
get specific, we have to hire,
Mhm.
we have to commit.
Right.
Yeah, I
And
don't
I'm
wanna
not
commit
ready to
either.
do that,
Mm-mm.
so.
Especially with that amount of money. That's a lot of money to commit. and not follow through.
Right.
There's a lot of things we could do with that money.
Exactly. So,
Also, the deferred maintenance list, I looked at it the other day and it's still has a bunch of those big like wish list items on there that had to do with like centralization and stuff. So if we're going to present that to the community or even talk about it, we need to get all that stuff off there because it makes it look like we have a ton, but a lot of that will never be done.
sure.
Yeah, we should do that. And that way we could have like, are we gonna have one of these, something up there to project figures? Or are we gonna have it printed out? You know, because people are gonna wanna see that.
We're gonna have a big screen, I'm assuming that's still a fair rate.
So I can set up a screen.
That usually goes up there, you know, like that.
That's the easy part. So,
Yeah, we need to, she's right, we should clean up that list.
agreed.
Okay.
So, all right. Unless there's anything else?
Yeah, I have a question about the deferred maintenance list then. So if we want to clean it up, I mean, in the past, we are the ones as administrators that put the items on there for the most part, along with McKinstry and Robert. So who are you saying that needs to clean up the list?
I would ask that you guys go through that, knowing that centralization is not a priority, right? We've kind of,
Yeah,
we're sticking with what we have.
Okay.
You know, I have a pretty good idea of what I know you need, Alicia. I know I've been kind of focusing on the middle school more than the other ones, but there's some things
that
we need to
school
get
has
done there.
needed the most,
Yeah.
though, honestly.
There's some
We
stuff
can
that we
always
need
make
to
a
do.
copy of it too, if we have to keep the original, so we knew what was on there. Clean it
Yeah,
up.
I think that's a good idea.
Copy, and then each of us just look at our own.
Yeah, just look at your own and
Because
say
there's some
yes.
things that were added to from McKinstry and, you know, those walkthroughs and stuff that I'm not really certain
Right.
anymore.
And keep in mind the struggle that we've had just to get somebody here to correct some of these.
Yeah, don't talk.
Yeah, I know.
Still working with it.
I have not. We're not,
Still trying to
it's not that we're
process
trying to,
It's a sore subject.
yeah, it's not that we're not trying to do it. It's just, as you know, to get somebody down here to do it is
Yeah.
ridiculous. So, yeah. All right, with that,